Hey everyone, today we're picking up with day 2 of lesson 4, powers of monomials. Again, our objective is to use the laws of exponents to find powers of monomials. To find the power of a product, find the power of each factor and then multiply. For examples, if we have 6x squared to the third power, we take everything in the parentheses and take it to the third power. So we've got 6 to the third power, we separate out the base, then we take our x value, x squared, and take that to the third power. 6 to the third becomes 216, and x squared to the third becomes x to the sixth. Remember, we just take the two exponents and multiply them. We can extend the power of a power rule to find the laws of exponents for the power of a product. In this case, we've got 3a squared to the fifth power. So that would just simply be 3a squared factored out 5 times. So if we multiply 3 5 times, we would get 243. If we take a squared factored out 5 times, we would take a squared and multiply it by 5 to get a to the 10th. So our final answer here would be 3 to the 5th, which is 243, and a squared to the 5th, which is a to the 10. Here's a couple more examples. So we're going to simplify using the laws of exponents. We've got 4p to the third to the fourth power. So again, we separate out our values here. So we've got 4 to the fourth, we take 4 to the fourth power, and then p to the third to the fourth power. 4 to the fourth is 256. P to the 3 times 4 is p to the 12th. Now we've got one more, a little more challenging, but let's give it a shot. So we've got negative 2m to the 7th, n to the 6th to the 5th power. Now again, that may seem a little bit mesmerizing, but we have to separate out our bases. So our first base here is negative 2. So we've got negative 2 to the 5th, so we're taking negative 2 to the exponent value outside the parentheses. Then we've got m to the 7th to the 5th, so m to the 7 times 5. And then we have n to the 6th to the 5th power, which would be n to the 6th times 5. So when I finish simplifying, I've got negative 2 to the 5th, which is negative 32, m to the 7 times 5, which is m to the 35th, and n to the 6 times 5, which is n to the 30th. So my final answer here is negative 32, m to the 35th, n to the 30th. So now I'd like you to try these 3 sample problems. So go ahead and work these out on your own. Then come back to the video, check your answers, and see how you did. So for problem D, we've got 8b to the 9th squared. And then when we separate out our values, we would have 8 squared, and then b to the 9th squared. 8 squared would be 64, and then b to the 9th squared would be b to the 9 times 2, or b to the 18. So we'd end up with 64b to the 18th. Then for problem E, we've got 6x to the 5th, y to the 11th, all to the 4th power. And again, we separate out our values, so we got 6 to the 4th, x to the 5th to the 4th, and y to the 11th to the 4th. 6 to the 4th would be 1,296. X to the 5th would be x to the 5 times 4, or x to the 20th. And y to the 11th to the 4th would be y to the 11 times 4, or y to the 44th power. And then finally F, we've got negative 5w squared, z to the 8th, all to the 3rd power. So we would take negative 5 to the third, w squared to the third, and then z to the 8th to the third. Negative 5 to the third would be negative 125. W squared to the third would be w to the second times 3, which is w to the 6th. And then z to the 8th would be, to the third power would be z to the 8 times 3, or z to the 24th. I'm going to rewrite that. Negative 125, w to the 6th, z to the 24th. That's our final answer. So your assignment for today is page 35, number 7 through 12. As always, don't forget to use the assignment checklist to make sure you have everything that you need in your assignment. And if you have any questions, please let me know. You can either email or stop into my Zoom room. Good luck.